This podcast is sponsored by Tusk, a continuity of business solution for industries that struggle with traditional banking. Check them out on the web at tusk.network. The Rob McNealy program is the nexus of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and entrepreneurship. Now, welcome to the program. Today, I am talking to Adel de Meyer. She is talking to us from Australia today, I believe. That's where you're at, right?
Yes.
Down under. Wonderful. And she is a veteran entrepreneur, a veteran from the tech world. I can't even read all the stuff you've done because it's pretty amazing. And I appreciate you coming on the show and talking with us today. But the latest project, she's with the DAPS token project, and it's a new privacy coin. And you're going to mainnet pretty soon?
Yes, end of September. We're going to launch. We're just finishing up with our audit this week, actually. So yeah, very exciting times ahead.
Oh, we're doing our mainnet this week, and so I know what it's like doing the conversion from a token to an actual full blown blockchain. But so before we get into the whole interview, just give us a little synopsis about your background. What do you do? What are you doing? How'd you get here? How'd you get in Australia?
Okay, yes. So I was born in South Africa, grew up there, lived there for 30 years of my life. Always had a dream and a vision, I want to be my own boss, do my own thing. That was always a thing for me. And I also always wanted to go overseas. So I made it happen, follow the goals, follow the dream. I've ran my own social media business for about 5 or 6 years. I've worked with great companies around the world, Adobe, Hootsuite, Pitney Bowes, SAP. So yeah, there's been quite a few. I've had the opportunity to work with, learned a lot about analytics, marketing, social media, human psychology, how is social impacting decisions, and how marketing has changed over the years. And it's really an industry that I enjoyed. It was something I was passionate about. It's working with people, understanding people, and it's something I enjoy. So I've always been involved on the tech side of stuff. I worked with Huawei for 6 months. Was a brand ambassador for them, and I'm also a writer for TNW, writing on tech articles and things, but I'm too busy lately. I haven't posted much there. And yes, so crypto came along. I'm also the co-founder of the Crypto Collectors. That's like a publication. We write about blockchain gaming specifically. Also an industry I'm passionate about. I've been playing games since I was like 4 years old, so something I really enjoy. So I'm a blogger, I'm an author, I'm a mentor, I'm an advisor, and I like to help startups in the business world to get the right tools to understand how to persevere, how to run a business, and I'm happy to share my tips and motivation on that. But yes, now we're moving forward. I'm sitting with DAPS at the moment. My mainnet's launching next month. Very excited, privacy coin. So challenging time for us ahead. I think we're going to have an exciting 3 years ahead of us in terms of decentralization, being a privacy coin, and all of that. But it's okay. I'm always up for a challenge.
So privacy coins. Now there's a lot of big privacy coins that are already out there. You got Monero and PIVX and some of the other ones. Why did you guys decide to do another privacy coin?
Well, it's just, we thought it's the future. I think there's definitely opportunity for privacy coins. I think it also is really the vision of what Satoshi was all about. And I think the technology can always be improved on. So, I want to see if we can be better than Monero. Not in terms of price, but in terms of technology, for how truly anonymous your transactions really are. Because what I did find with some of the other privacy projects is that some of their technologies aren't as private as you think. So we've had a look at which projects are lacking what, where can we improve, how can we make it a truly, truly private coin. And we had the developers building it for 1 year and 4 months now about. And we're going to push it to market and see if we can solve a problem and have that true anonymity available.
Anonymity.
Yes, anonymous.
I can't say that word at the time. So how we met is you and I met online, and we've been, we're both doing projects, and both are kind of smaller projects, or I like to say we're still in our startup phase.
Yeah.
But you and I got to talking about some of the stuff that's happening with the exchanges and with the indexes, and one of the frustrations that I see out there in the crypto world, and just normal investors, everyday investors in crypto, do not understand how scammy and how challenging it is as a project to get listed on exchanges and get listed in indexes. And there's a lot of, well, let's just say fraud out there in the world, even from the project side. And lately, it seems like there's been some machinations from some of the big ones like CoinMarketCap in particular that are kind of unsettling. So, and I caught on to one of your stories that happened. So can you tell us a little bit about your recent, kind of problem that you found out with CoinMarketCap kind of recently?
Yes, so what happened is I woke up one Saturday morning and saw my community in panic and like, hey, what happened to our ranking on CoinMarketCap? And so I went to have a look and saw that we were out of the blue position 1,165, where we are, 176 in the rankings on, on all the other sites like CoinGecko and that, because, it's by market cap and all that. So I was quite shocked and very confused, because I was like, what? Why did we drop that much? Did one of the exchanges bomb out or something? And I was really concerned. And then started reading up about it, looking for tweets. People said, oh, they changed the methodology. So I started reading through that to try and make sense of it. And immediately, obviously, I jumped on to see what other projects are ranked and which ones are now in the top 200. Known scams and exit ICOs, things like that. I looked them up, and to my shock, they were still, some of them ranked higher than us, and some actually still sitting in the top 200. So I was like, whoa, this is just wrong. Immediately emailed CoinMarketCap, tried to reach out. Obviously, they take a very long time to respond. I think I emailed them this Saturday morning, and I think my first official response via email was back the next Thursday. Also, still not very clear answers. We've been asking questions. I've made a Twitter video going through, the requirements, and looking at projects currently in the top 200 that does not even fill any of the methodology requirements.
So let's step back a little bit. So what happened? So one day you wake up on a Saturday morning, and your project on CoinMarketCap, which is the world's leading coin,
Yes.
tracker index.
It's the number one website in crypto.
In crypto, and you normally are ranked, your token was ranked in the below 200 mark, like 176, 188, in those ranges. And then you wake up one morning and you're like in the 1200 range out of the blue with no warning.
Yes. And still no clear answers. It's crazy.
And what ended up happening? Why did that occur? Why did they shift you down so many points?
They just say, we've changed our methodology, here's the requirements, and that's why some projects moved. And I've sent countless tweets of examples, and like the Enjin ICO $90 million scam project, they were still like, I think rank, I can't remember, I think 150 or something. And I tweeted, I was like, whoa, this ICO has been closed down. They don't even have a website, they're dead. It was a massive scam. Why are they in the top 200? Why are they even still listed on CoinMarketCap? Then suddenly that evening, they were moved down to 1,150 something. So very close to where we are ranked as a hardworking, legit project. They still didn't even remove them. So yeah, I've just been back and forth on Twitter and showing people, and other projects have reached out to me saying, listen, I've got proof of CoinMarketCap requiring us to manipulate our tokenomics so that, they can be satisfied and list us. And so many projects reached out and said that, there's just some very shady practices going on. And that's why I've been pushing the issue. CoinMarketCap eventually gave me a response answering my questions in the email and some of my tweets, but it's still very vague. There's no concrete, solid answer as to why. They just don't tell you. And then I also asked, I tweeted Qcoin shares. They were also ran down to 1,100 and something. Isn't it funny that everybody went to 1.1? It's so strange. But anyway, and yeah, a few days later, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 days, the Qcoin CEO tweeted, "Oh yay, we're back at rank 43 where we belong." So I said, "Okay, oh wow, so you were also shifted around and fixed. So how did that happen?" And the moderator responded saying that, well, we simply reached out and said, listen, what's going on? And they agreed that we must be back up at our well-deserved spot at 43. As simple as that. And I was like, okay, so they're manually changing ranks as they see fit. And that in itself is already a big red flag, because an algorithm system that works with data, if you implement an algorithm change, that affects all your data. You don't just pick and choose some stuff that the algorithm applies to and some stuff not. Like, how is that a fair system? So that's now how all the questions started coming out. So just a few examples.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, you know, reading your account and that kind of jive with some of the stuff I know about CoinMarketCap is, you know, they've never even listed us. And we've applied, you know, 9 times, I think, over the last, you know, 2 years with our token project. And even when we had, you know, they say you need to, you know, have a certain number of, you know, trade volume and things like that. And we at different times had really decent trade volume, like 60 grand a day kind of trade volume for weeks on end, and they still wouldn't list us. and you're like, why? And they're like, and their response was always to us with OCC was just grow more. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not real helpful, because we did grow from the last time you said, you know, we grew substantially, and, you know, we've grown our community. We didn't do an ICO. We're not a scam. We're still here. By the way, it's almost 2 years and I'm still here. And I like, you know, and I like to point that out. You know, we did everything we said we would do in our original white paper. We gave away something for free. We never hyped it. It became valuable or slightly valuable. So we gave something away that became for free, that became valuable. Never hyped it, and we did everything we said we would do. And so, and now we're doing even more. And I tell people, like, if that's not what you want on your service to track, what do you want on your service to track?
Exactly.
But what I found is when I started, you know, I like to dig into new, you know, details and specifications and the legal stuff. So I dove into CoinMarketCap's they have this new you know, this new indexing algorithm, right? And what they say is that to get into the top 200 on their list, regardless, you have to meet a whole lot of criteria, but they're not going to say exactly what the criteria are. But one of the things they say is that you should be on, they've created this new, I would say it's almost like a cartel, but they've created this new data alliance for their members. And it's got a bunch of major projects. It's got some other exchanges and some other companies that I don't even know. And they're all data alliance members. And one of the things it says to be in the top 200 is you have to be on 3 of those exchanges.
Yes.
And it's interesting because some of those exchanges have really, really dubious, dubious volume themselves. They're renowned. They charge extraordinarily high listing fees into the hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions. And their own volumes are, by many other third parties' analysis, some of those are faked. And to me, I'm like, okay, so they're saying is to even be listed in the top 200, you need to be a part of all these things. And then I started looking at the requirements to be one of their data partners, which is nearly impossible to do. You know, they have a lot of the requirements about being notable, of being listed into the top 50. You know, you have to do 50 citations a year in major crypto outlets, but they don't say what those are. But you know.
Yeah, so again, very vague, because what you might seem a website, you know, publication as major, but they can just turn around and say, no, we don't see it as major, sorry.
But
You
here's the
know,
other problem. But here's the other problem with crypto, right? Is like, unlike a lot of industries, it's pay to play. I don't know any other industry where you have to pay to submit a press release to a news outlet.
mm,
Um,
yep,
and,
yep.
and
And they
so,
charge you a lot of money. I
oh,
know
sometimes,
because I work with the marketing of a project. It's really,
right.
expensive.
And it's, it could be, a couple $1,000s, US dollars for that, depending on the outlet. And
Hmm.
to me, so it's like, it's if you look at all these barriers to entry, because even with our project, right, we're a community project. And I'm like, hey, there's a data alliance that wants to make things more ethical and honest and transparent. I'll join that because I like to do things like that.
Hmm.
In my day job, and our project has all day job people because we didn't do an ICO. So all of us have real jobs besides the crypto project. And
Hmm.
I write ANSI standards for my day job. I'm really pretty well known in my industry, my day industry. And it's interesting as I work on writing standards and developing things on a national level in my industry. And I'm like, I'd love to be on a data alliance for this.
Yep.
And you know what? But there's no way that my project or me could ever be on there because it's just, they have all these barriers and they even keep reiterating. And I think you said this, is they keep reiterating that, well, these aren't the only things we think about, but these are the general things we think about. It's like, wow. And to me, this just sets up a moral hazard as far as I
Yes.
can see it. Um,
Yes.
so you appealed. It sounds like you've sent some emails back and forth to CoinMarketCap. Um, now, you were already in the top 200 with DAPS. So
Mm.
you already, by market cap, volume, multiple exchanges. I mean, I've looked, you got some pretty good trade volume on several places, 60 to 100 grand a day or more, which is good for a small project, especially one that didn't have ICO money. Kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
But so think about, so this is what I started thinking about. So they made an algorithm. So they allegedly made an algorithm that reindexes things. And then it puts us, you have to be special to be in the top 200, but that doesn't explain to me why you didn't become 201 or
Yes,
202. Why did you get pushed down to like
1,000. Yes, it makes no sense, and they can't answer it either. Um, I don't think I'm going to get answers. I've got legal onto this. I am taking the matter further. It can be seen as many things. My lawyer said it can be seen as fraud. It can be seen as defamation. So I'm taking the matter further. I'm not leaving it here. And it's not just because of DApps. For me, this is about the whole industry. As the #1 website for crypto, that's it. It's just the #1 site for crypto with all the traffic and stuff that they get. They have some responsibility. They need to report ethical, fair, and straightforward data. It can't be a scenario where they can, with a click of a button, decide what rank a project should be. It creates confusion. It's seen as market manipulation in my eyes. And they can literally decide the fate of anybody. That is a big risk for us in the crypto community. And then, to add a question on top is, okay, so how do we know what projects CoinMarketCap staff are invested in? So isn't it then in their best interest to pick and choose the project that they like, to rank them higher, so they can actually benefit from the projects doing better? You see how this turns into a massive, very bad ecosystem.
Well, they can pick winners and losers, right, arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Now, well, here's the problem, and I think and I hope that this is going to change over time. And you got the CoinGecko is the next biggest index that's tracking crypto assets out there. But one of the things that's hard, and a lot of people don't understand this, that they say that they're trying to solve projects that are manipulating their own volume and things. But here's the thing: to get on CoinMarketCap, if you're not getting any traction, there's like this incentive now to fake your own volume to get on CoinMarketCap,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you're not going to be able to get on mid-level or upper-level exchanges if you're not on CoinMarketCap. A lot of them
Yep.
will say, look, and it's changing now, but a year and a half ago, if you were on CoinGecko or some of the other trackers, they didn't care. like a lot of exchanges said, well, get on Coin Market Cap and then come talk to us. But here's the problem. Even if you're doing 60,000 a day in trade volume, legitimate trade volume, we never, played any games with our volume. They won't let you on for whatever reason. And to me, it's like they've created their own incentive, whereas CoinGecko, which is, is growing rapidly in this space, and I really like CoinGecko a lot, is that they list every project. And if they think that the exchange is a little dodgy, pushing out data about your project, they have their own trust score that says, this is what it looks like if it's normalized. This is what it looks like with their reporting. And they let you choose what you want to see. But CoinMarketCap's injecting itself into the decision-making process here, and creating these barriers to entry, which then gives them control, but more importantly, gives them money, and creates all sorts of incentives for them to do bad things. I'm not saying they are doing bad things, and I don't have any evidence that they've committed fraud with exchanges, but what they've done is they've put themselves into a position where that's going to be really easy to do and very tempting to do. And that moral hazard thing comes up, and it's no different than if a government agency and a politician kind of puts themselves in this kind of situation, right? We would say it's a moral hazard. Don't put yourself in that situation where you're, where you have to make a decision about, being tempted about doing something wrong or immoral versus doing the right thing. You don't want to put yourself in that position. CoinMarketCap has put itself in that position, and it's like they're operating like a weird government entity almost. But the thing is, good projects like yours and Tusk and our project, these projects are solid projects run by volunteer community teams. They're projects that really want to solve problems out there, and they're not even given a chance because they don't have all this ICO money to throw around like all these other, And let's just be honest, pretty much almost every single ICO project out there is failing. I mean, from the last year and a half, they're either dead projects.
The 80% fail rate, I think, was the one article I read on the research of the ICOs from like the 2017 hype until now. 80% fail rate. But here we are, projects like you and us. We've survived the bear market, the crypto winter. We've just been, pushing forward, trying to get money together to get onto these big exchanges that charge, $250,000 up to $1 million to list. But like you said, the moment you apply, you need to be on CoinMarketCap already. You need to have volume already. You need to this and need to that. So what it's doing in my eyes is it's killing innovation and entrepreneurship in this space, with people like us with the perseverance and the strong communities that keep on pushing and working hard, that can't even just get a listing on CoinMarketCap. And they have that massive power at the moment, which is a problem in deciding who gets what. And they dictate which exchanges you should use. Plus they are saying you must have massive volume. I mean, the crypto market has died down quite a lot, in my opinion, across the board. Okay. It's different times than 2017. They need to have realistic expectations. The exchanges, CoinMarketCap, all of them included. And there's a lot of projects out there, I believe, that's the same as me, that don't want to get market making, that don't want to fake their volumes, because it's just not ethical. I don't want to lie about my volume, and I don't want to become reliant on market makers either. I want to run a project legitimately, do the right thing, and succeed through that. But that's not how the game is currently really played in crypto. And to me, that's an overall issue. I don't know, Rob, how do you see it?
Well, it's interesting as a project, as especially on Telegram, right? You'll be sitting there and I'm like, admin, where admin? They pop into Telegram and it's always some guy trying to hawk his exchange off. I list you cheap. Okay, well, we're a community product. We don't have an ICO money. Well, you give us $2 million worth of your coin and you guarantee volume and you fake your own volume. And I'm like, so you just came in here. You want me to commit fraud to join your exchange? We're growing exchange. But then on the other hand, you tell me your exchange is growing, but then you also told me to fake my volume on your exchange. So, and you're just like, get out of here. I don't want any part of that. I mean, to me, it's like getting liquid is just about making it so it's easy for people to get the coin. and that's the only reason I care about exchanges. So it makes it easier for people, especially in other countries, to get the coin than the United States. I mean, that's what liquidity means to me. But it's like these people are, and I'm going to call it out. It seems like the Asian exchanges are the worst for all this.
Yes.
And it's funny. I interviewed Bobby Ong, the CEO of CoinGecko, last night, and he's Asian. He's from Malaysia, and he's like, "Yeah, the exchanges from Asia are all the worst." And I'm like, I mean, that's pretty bad, and that's also pretty telling. But that's the stuff we're dealing with as and as a project, right? And so when you're really desperate to get on CoinMarketCap, because you have to get on CoinMarketCap to get on certain exchanges, and they say your volume's not high enough, and then the exchange says, well, you come on our exchange and you give us enough of your coins, we'll make your volume for you so you can get on CoinMarketCap. And I'm like, we never did that. I'm still not on CoinMarketCap. We're on 4 or 5 other exchange or trackers, but I just stopped applying. To be honest, I stopped applying because I got so frustrated with them as an organization. I said, CoinGecko's got a better website. They got a better interface, better information. I'm just going to tell people to go look at CoinGecko from now on. But I do know now we're going to the next phase and the next growth phase for our project. We're going to have to look and relook at CoinMarketCap. And, and I'm afraid I'm just going to get into that. I'm going to get into a tussle too, right? Because, we're going to be in that same position because I don't have $2 million to get on all these major exchanges that are their data partners, right?
And just to add to the exchange thing from the data partners is I've got a good contact of one of the data partners exchanges, and I actually reached out and I said, hey, I see you're a data partner, how much did you have to pay? Did you apply? What was the process? What happened? And he said, no, CoinMarketCap just listed us there as a data partner. We didn't do anything. So that's also out of the window. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to let this go. I'm willing to fight this fight for all of us. There's a lot of projects out there, the same story as you, that it's just they don't get responses. They're told they're not good enough to list. They're just losing all hope. And the problem there is that CoinMarketCap has got too much centralized power and decision making over the fate of crypto projects. It's not right.
I agree. Adel, where can people find out more about you and get updates on what you're doing here?
Yeah, so they can just hop onto dapscoin.com. I'm also very active on Twitter, so people can tweet anytime, send a DM. I try to always check and respond there. Mainnet's coming out next month. Very excited about that. But yeah, I want to ask people and projects out there if you've got anything to add to the CoinMarketCap thing and how it can be better, or what do you feel is transparent, or how we can help all projects in the crypto community to be successful and get a fair chance. Please reach out to me. It's something I really want to pursue and passionate about. So let's have a conversation. But yeah, I just also want to say thanks to my community at DAPS. Great people, been supporting us a long time. So they make it possible for me to be here and do this. So also a big thanks to them. And thanks to you, Rob, for having me on your show. I mean, if we don't talk about these issues, more people can't be educated to make better decisions for themselves.
Well, I appreciate your time. Keep up the good fight. Adel de Meyer, DAPS Coin, talking about CoinMarketCap. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Rob. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Rob McNealy program. Make sure you check us out on the web at robmcnealy.com and subscribe to our podcast at YouTube, iTunes, and on the Google Play Store.